and I'll be talking about the tools of the monetary policy and the unconventional monetary policy tools. So the reserve requirement is the amount of money banks must hold in reserve, and when the reserve requirement increases, the amount of money decreases. And in 2020, it was set equal to 0 during the pandemic, and it was discontinued. And this aligns with paying interest on reserves, because if interest increases, the money supply also increases, and depending on the interest, the banks will keep more or less reserves. Next, lending banks at a discount rate. Discount rate is the interest rate charged by the Fed for loans through the discount window, and the discount window is the lending facility that allows banks to borrow reserves from the Fed. And the lower the discount rate is, the easier it is for the banks to borrow from the Fed. And this aligns with the Fed loan facilities because that is who the banks are borrowing the money from. Next is the open market operations, which is buying and selling treasury or government bills and bonds. And this is the most commonly used monetary policy tool, and it happens every day. And this aligns with quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is directly increase the supply of money by buying government securities and other securities. The government just buys out, or the Fed buys the toxic assets. And so by buying these bonds, the money supply increases, and the interest of the bond depends on the price of the bond. And when the Fed buys the bonds, the demand for the bond increases, and the price of the bond increases, and then finally the interest decreases.